everyone. I hope that you are having a fabulous Tuesday, and hopefully it is beginning to cool off where you are. It's kind of here slowly in Texas, but welcome to Michelle's Inspirational Hour. So hopefully you will get inspired this hour. We do have a wonderful guest that I know that you'll be inspired because I read her wonderful book and I was going, oh, that was me. That was me. So I'm just very grateful for her talent. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are here, say hello because sometimes you're kind of be quiet out in the audience and then all of a sudden you'll come up and say hello. Let us know that you are here. The second part of the show, if you are still here, yes, we will, both of us are going to be doing psychic readings, okay, for the listeners that are still here. All right. So stay tuned for that. So let me go and introduce our guest. Okay. So Ulrika Sullivan is an intuitive spiritual life coach. She began her career as a research scientist. Yes, you heard it. Then she found her true self as a yoga teacher, a Reiki energy healer, certified life coach, author, podcast host. She is the author of Wisdom Beyond What You Know and the podcast producer of the New Light Living podcast. All right, so let's go ahead and welcome her on. Let me see if I can get her out here. Yay! Hey, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for inviting me. We're going to have a great conversation. I am 100% sure about that.
Well, okay, so I'm going to let everybody know. So we have done this before. Okay. I was actually a guest on her podcast. So we had a great time. And whenever I started this podcast, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to have her as a guest because, it just sometimes when our energy just kind of flows and you just have that wonderful conversation and, yes, I have to have her. So thank you for saying yes. And I'm very grateful to have you and your talents. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I think I admire you from being such, you had a career being very logical, scientific research, very brilliant, not meaning that you're not still brilliant. It's just like a very logical career. And then all of a sudden you found your true self and you changed into more of an intuitive career. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that? Because that is so inspirational.
Yes. And I want to say first that, where we come from and the career we've had or experiences that we've had. And I reflect upon it now, and it all prepared me for being here with you today. But it's true, right? It's not that I felt that was wasted time by any means, right? Because I was on my journey in corporate world for more than 20 years of my professional career. But now I realize that, it actually prepared me for being here right now and do what I do. So, but that shift is something that I don't know, many of you listening or watching this may wonder, like, I want to do a shift like that. I want to do something completely different because yes, I shifted into something that was completely different. And I believe it's part of my life purpose to be able to relate and bridge this scientific world or logical, where we're all up on our head, into this world of living from the heart. And yeah, I do understand both sides now, which is truly a gift.
Absolutely. And let's go ahead and I'm going to bring it up, your book, okay? Wisdom Beyond What You Know. Because to me, you almost like, I know that you've experienced it, but you gave everybody a guide book, to be able to follow because it has some wonderful, wonderful exercises in it, especially after each chapter. And again, I was going, that is totally me. And but I love how you talk about the different patterns that we have as children, and I'm going, that is so true, how we have so many different patterns that it's so hard to break.
Yeah,
as adults. So what do you recommend for somebody that keep having those triggers being a child,
Mm.
thinking back in their childhood?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that all of our parents are from our childhood, but many of them. And I think once we start to notice what patterns we have in our life, we can trace them back, and often we come back to childhood. Ah, that's what my mom always did, or that's what I was taught or told it was the way to do it. But now, as an adult, we have the option, because I call it an option. It's a choice, right? If we want to start looking at, like, why am I doing this, or why am I, maintaining this pattern, and also, in addition to that, is it really serving me? Am I happy? What does this pattern, whatever it is, right? What does it do to my life? And that's when we start to kind of, okay, do I want to keep this, or do I want to let it go? And that's, we all have our routines, our patterns, the way we were brought up. So there's, like, everyone has that. It's just a matter of, if we start to kind of look at it and say, okay, what is it really that I'm maintaining in my life? Does it support me or does it not?
It's kind of like a self-reflection, exactly what you're
Mhm.
talking about. And
Yeah.
I am very guilty of that because, I was such a person pleaser. I wanted to please people all the time and I love how you say, I did take several quotes from your book, if that's okay.
Oh,
I know they
absolutely.
can read it, but I thought, oh my gosh, it's so good. So, where we become, and especially if we want to please people, it becomes codependency. And I had never thought about that because it's kind of like we're ignoring our needs and then we're still wanting that attention. And
Mhm.
then it becomes a little resentful, emptiness, and we start blaming others for it. And, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of it that deeply.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have relationships in our lives, right? And some relationships become very, it becomes so tightly knit, if you will, or entangled. A word for it is also entangled, and it has to do with energy. That we're, in relationships, sometimes we get something from a relationship that is very subconscious, that may
Mhm.
not serve us, but it's so comfortable because we've always, it's always been like that.
Right,
So
right, right.
people
And I
pleasing is
love,
very much
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And you talk about energy, and I love reading that you have your Reiki master, energy. How does that help you in the work that you do? How do you implement that with your clients?
Yeah, in my programs, I often, almost 100% of the time, my clients opt for having energy healing in parallel with coaching, like one-on-one coaching, like we do now here on,
Right.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Uh, and the reason for that is that, uh, the way I link the two, and I feel it's so powerful. My clients have wonderful, powerful, results by energy healing. Is really an alignment of energy, and the physical body, as we transform the physical body, and the aura, so to say, also needs to be part of that. Because
Right.
we, even if we are, coming to conclusions, for example, what patterns we have in life, and we let go of those, as an example, the body transforms as well, and our expression, our energy expression. So energy healing on top of the coaching is magic, really. And once I got into energy healing, I started to think more of that perspective in terms of self-expression, and it became so much. It really made sense to me, because when you meet somebody,
Mhm.
you actually meeting a person's aura or energetic expression. Even if you notice the nice clothes or the nice smile first, it actually is their energy that we are
Mhm.
taking in. And so many times when we're out of alignment with our natural energy, that's when we feel resistance, frustrated, stressed. So by helping clients to align and become more balanced when it comes to their energetic expression, on top of the emotional releases or internal energy that needs to be released through coaching, that makes a whole world of difference.
Yeah. And I love what Karen said. She said, I love that you meet their energy first. And thank you, Karen, for stating that, because what I was also thinking, you said you look at somebody smile. Do you have a lot of clients that are still smiling and you wouldn't know that they were imbalanced with their energy? You know what I'm saying? If you were not looking into that energy, would you think that that person had it all together, on the outside? Or, I mean, so do you have clients that kind of try to hide it?
They try.
I love that. I love that.
But they can't, because now, like, if you asked me 15, 20 years ago, while I was at my height in my business corporate career, I was not tuned in to that expression of somebody. I was just like, she got it all together, she's up there speaking on a stage or whatever. That's as far as I was taking somebody in. Now I take the whole person in, and so yeah, they can. I kind of read through the lines, the energetic lines nowadays, and of course, people want to keep it together when they come to me, but quite soon they realize that, okay, I can be real here.
Right, you kind of trigger that. You kind of get those feelings going, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so I can completely understand. I do have a question about Reiki, because you put a specific type of Reiki, and I actually looked it up and I thought it was so interesting, because with the Reiki that you do you see the different symbols of different energies? Can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about, I mean, is Reiki all the same, or is there just different types of Reiki?
So, I'm just sharing my own opinion
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Energy healing, no matter what you call it,
Mhm.
is the same. Like, you're
Okay.
channeling
Mhm.
universal energy through yourself. And
Mhm.
it's Reiki was founded or brought here by a man from Japan, and we can go a lot into it in the details, but
Wow. Yeah, very
that
knowledgeable. Right.
brought it to our consciousness, and started to teach it in a way that people could believe that they can do it.
Mhm.
Right,
Right. Right, right, right.
because that's part of what it is too, that
Okay.
but all the for me, in
Mhm.
my opinion, I might be wrong, there are
Oh,
no
no.
different types of Reiki. It's more what the intention is
Right.
that you can maybe call different types, right? But
Right.
what you're doing when you use energy as a healing modality is that you channel universal energy.
And I love that, because that's so true, especially being a psychic medium, because when you use the different clairs, not everybody channels the same. We're all so different. And so that is so true, that, energy is energy. And that's how, you connect with your client, soul to soul, that type of thing. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Okay. So, with going back a little bit with your book, I saw that you have it in different sections, like the patterns. Um, sorry, I have my notes here. I've been caught.
You're
I'm trying to
prepared.
say, oh, I've
I love
memorized
it.
all of it. Okay, so the patterns that we experience, the heart centered living, and the 7 shifts that outline the steps. And I love that, because, especially again, you talk about the different patterns and how we can use our intuition and our energy. And then you really get down to it with the 7 shifts that outline the steps. Can you kind of summarize the 7 shifts that are in your book? and
Yes,
how, that
absolutely.
helps your
How
clients?
long do we have? I will
As long as you want.
I'll go very, very quickly. And I love that you point out these three different parts of the book, because, yes, it is about becoming aware in the first part of our mind driven patterns, which is really stories that the mind makes up, which bring us to certain behaviors. And then the second part of the book is really the elements of heart centered living, such as tapping into your creativity, your intuition, connecting with nature. And so, like, there's 6 or 7 chapters that where I give the fundamentals really of heart-centered living. And then in the last part that, like, you referred to, is the 7 shifts. And the 7 shifts are really taking us from that mind-driven way of being that so many of us are into that heart-centered. So it really is a step by step. And the first shift, which is that's why I put it first, because it's
Yes.
so, like, without that you can't really do the rest.
Right, right, right. That's a foundation.
And that is to
Yeah.
move out of our comfort zone into a commitment to ourselves, to want to challenge the status quo of how we got to where we are, and what assumptions we make about ourselves and others, etc. It's about that willingness to see something in a different way.
Mhm.
And so that's the first shift. And I talk about ways to move out of the comfort zone. And the
Oh,
truth is
Lord.
that it's like a rubber band, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
Our mind wants to bring us, stretch that rubber band, and it wants to bring us back to our comfort zone.
Mhm. Mhm.
Once we, and in the book I talk about this point of no return, and which was a moment for me where I realized there's no going back.
Yeah.
No going back to my old way of looking at myself or approaching life even.
Right.
And that's that shift when we go from, okay, I'm out of the comfort zone.
It's
And
so hard.
that it is the hardest thing. But once we're out of the comfort zone, we can step into becoming self-aware, which is the second shift.
Yeah.
To go from that disconnection, if you will, which I talk about in the book, because that's really where I was. I was not connected with my true self. I
Mhm.
was, too fast paced of a life, really, to slow down and connect. But now, this journey I've been on have really allowed me to become self aware of all the things that I am,
Right.
which
Right.
is really the purpose of becoming self-aware. And once we have that, uh, you know, excitement of learning more about who we truly are,
Mhm.
that's when we move into becoming sovereign. And you talked about codependency before, and
Mhm.
and that is really the shift from being codependent to sovereign in our own life,
Right. Right.
which is a huge thing. And it's not about separating ourselves from other people. It's not
Oh,
about
right. Right. Yeah,
because
just knowing yourself apart from other people and not trying to please them, being your authentic self, I guess you could say. Would that be
absolutely.
a good way to
Yes,
put it? Okay.
I would say so. And
Okay.
it has also to do with our own boundaries to a
Okay.
large extent, both energetic boundaries, but also, boundaries
Mhm.
of all kinds that many of us, including myself, have not always been as good at setting those boundaries, because
Well, you're not the only one.
and that really is what helps us become sovereign in our own life and put
Mhm.
ourselves at the top of the mountain, as I usually say, in our own life. Yeah.
Right. Right, 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 right. Absolutely.
And now we're at the shift 3, and number 4 is really we are learning creatures, right? So
Oh,
what I talk about,
absolutely.
what I talk about in shift 4 is how we can step from always learning to actually
Mhm.
embodying. It's a big shift in heart-centered living to actually become what we are, instead of like buying that next course or next book, or
Right.
we often are in a mode of consumption. We want to
Hmm.
learn more, or maybe I'm not enough, so I need more of some new thing that I need to learn. At
Yeah.
some point, there is a time when we need to kind of, okay, it's time to show the world what I've learned.
Hmm.
And that is what that shift is all about.
Oh, I love that. I love that, especially from an educator.
Yeah, yeah. And what I mean about really embodying is that it needs to come from inside out.
Hmm. Right.
So if I reflect on my own life, for example, it's it's actually to make the shifts that we want to make in our
Hmm.
life, whether it's a career shift, whether it's a shift to our morning routine, a
Hmm.
shift to how we treat ourselves, or have our own time and hobbies and things like that.
Hmm.
It is to actually do what we're walking around thinking about all the time.
Love it. Yes. Yes.
So I
Love
give
it. Love it.
some tips on how to do that in shift 4 in chapter 15. And the next 3 shifts are really about using our own wisdom instead of the logic part of ourselves, and tap into the heart to bring out all that wisdom that we came here with. And so that shifts 5. And number 6 is really, now we're getting into it, because it is then we start to manifesting and going
Hmm.
from that push to get things, and
Right.
shift that into manifesting and attracting what we just by being.
Hmm.
And manifesting is what a lot of people are focusing on, like in their spiritual journey. That's where people go
Yes.
right away.
Yes. Absolutely. I
You
want
start
it now.
manifesting. But it actually is one of the last things.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say last, but there are a lot of things prior to, like what we just talked about, the willingness, the becoming self-aware, the sovereignty, using our own wisdom, etc. And then once we get to that point, and actually are who we are authentically, we start manifesting, we start attracting exactly what's right for us. And that's
Right.
a beautiful
Right.
thing.
And I like that you have to do a step by step. You can't say, I want it now, because you got to work out the kinks first.
Exactly. Yeah. And some, we are brought up in a world that wants like quick fixes.
Yes. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
many times, like, oh, can I just go to, now I'm on the spiritual path, and can I just do manifesting? I just want to do
Right.
that.
Right.
Right. But no, that's not how it works. There's a lot of other steps before that.
And I did go to your website, and it did, and there's a place where they can go and download about those 7 um, shifts that you just
Yep.
talked about, so you can get
Mhm.
information on that. And everybody, I swear, everybody's going, "Oh, okay, is it time for readings?" Let me just tell you. Okay, so there's 2 parts of the show. So yes, so it's usually 30 minutes into the show that we go ahead and do the readings. Just to let you know, I don't want y'all to get too antsy out there. Okay, so yeah, so during the second part, we're both going to do the reading. So hang in there, guys. Hang in there. I know y'all. It's almost like the nugget. They learn something, and then they get to they get to
Yeah.
play. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Okay, so and also let me ask you, what is your website if they're trying to find you?
Yes, you can visit me on ulrikasullivan.com. And when you get there, there's a little tab for the book or anything you want to know. I have a podcast as well. So, yeah, come visit me there. You're more
All
than welcome
right,
to do
and
that.
that's where they can find those different shifts and read. Now the book I know is on Amazon, and I know that do you have a link on your website as well to get to your book?
Absolutely.
Okay,
there's a tab for the book, and you can actually buy it also on Barnes and Noble, or many other outlets if you prefer that.
okay,
So, yeah, you
okay,
can
awesome, awesome.
easily
Like
find it there.
And again, I love it because it's kind of, I think people can relate to it and it gives you guidelines. Because my goodness, I know I need guidelines. All right, and I know I told you about the wheel. So this is going to be the last question of the show. Okay. I know it's very
Ooh.
little to us. So whenever the question pops up, we'll be able to see it because we're seeing it from a really, really tiny screen. So here we go. See what the last question is. Oh, okay.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! All right. So the question is, do you believe in ghosts?
I love this question because yes, I do. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in spirits. Whatever we want to call it, we do have a different plane that is beyond the physical body. I truly believe that. I work in that space nowadays. So, yes, I believe in ghosts.
It almost said it's almost like energy is energy, right? Ghost is energy.
That's
So that is totally
Mhm.
awesome. All right. So, is there anything else that we did not talk about that you want to tell the audience?
I want to tell the audience that um, you are much more than just who you are here in the physical body, and I think you support that as well, Michelle. And to let go of the assumptions and interpretations about ourselves is awesome. Like when we do that, magic happens. So if you take anything away from this conversation today, is that there's more.
Mhm.
There's more to every one of us to discover, and it's exciting. So
Absolutely. I love that. Say the word of the wise, right? All right. So let's go ahead and start our readings. So this is going to be the second part. And what I do is I turn on some music to kind of talk about energy, kind of change the energy a little bit. And everybody out there, I'm going to read her first. So you have to wait in line because the guest goes first. And then we'll kind of take turns reading. How about that? All right, so let's go
perfect.
ahead and play some music. See, it kind of changes things. Okay, it's so funny because I had already chosen before I even sat down the cards that I wanted to use with you. And they're actually, I've got several decks, but this is really meant for spiritual, like looking at spiritual things. And I looked at it. It's so interesting. I forgot the name of the deck, but it's called Mystical Wisdom. It's so funny because that kind of goes with your book and with everything
Yeah,
else.
perfect, perfect, perfect.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I've been kind of changing in my readings, but I'll go ahead and do okay. And it kind of like, like spirit kind of guides you on what is needed. So what I'm going to do is, and I used to do this quite a bit, is the past, the present, and then habit. What you need to do to really almost manifest things spiritually and so forth. Okay. Um, Oh, wow. Okay. And I love this. Now, this card, before I show it to you, and I always tell everybody, it says animal bond, stand up for all the animals, but the meaning behind that is in the past you've really had, and this kind of goes with everything else, that you've stood up and helped people out. You advocated for people to be their genuine self. You found kind of like your purpose. Does that make sense? Your
Mhm.
purpose and the reasoning behind it. So it's almost like somebody who has a bond with humans. It's kind of like that, where you find a purpose to help them. And what I'm really feeling is that you grew the angel wings, the wings I'm being pulled to. It's like,
Yeah.
boom, earth angel. Okay. So presently, oh, wow. Okay. So presently, and I think you're doing this, but spiritually, we're human too. We need to continue to do so. Continue to follow that intuition. Okay. Whenever it's knocking at your door, follow it. Because I think,
Mm.
again, you get that logical mind. It's very hard to get the ego in there, but really follow that intuition so that you can really be big spiritually. And that's just, the golden nugget. Again, everybody kind of questions everything, especially intuitively. Okay. And this is perfect.
Okay.
I just love it when it goes with the cards with you. Okay. So make it a
Um,
habit when you tell people to self-care, you're not doing that for yourself. Okay. So you need to make it in a habit for vacation. Okay. And that doesn't mean like going out of town each week, but doing that self-care because I know I see you constantly on and you're always on and you're always making videos and you're doing podcasts and you're writing, blogs and you're doing all this, but make sure you do take the time for yourself.
yes.
Keep it spiritual. Okay.
Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder.
Everybody has it. I know that because you are so big in preaching that. And I know that because we're human, we tend to, put our things on the side. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So let me get, oh, they're there. I'm looking at, I had to turn my comments off and I'm going, where is everybody? They're all gone. So, all right. So let's go ahead. And what I want you to do, since you're the guest, which one are you being pulled for first?
So I can't see any.
Oh, you can't see them?
Oh, no, I can see them now.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Do you want me to say a name?
Yes. Go ahead and say the name. And if they're still here, they're wanting a reading. So,
Yeah. Karen. Karen Romain.
Karen Romain?
Yes.
All right. So, Karen, let us know that you're here. I think you still are here. And she's saying it was a great show, but she did say I'm manifesting a reading.
Yeah.
So
I
yes,
see that.
okay. I'll let you go first, and then I'll follow suit.
All
She's
right.
still here.
So, Karen, what do you want to know? What's the question?
Okay. So yeah, there are certain people that
I
want to know questions. So Karen, go ahead and ask a question. Is it a general question you want or a specific?
I can do a past, present, and future just like you did as well. But if there's anything that
Oh,
brings
okay.
it into more specificity, that is
Okay,
very
general.
general. Okay.
General. Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Beautiful. So, Karen, you are in a transformation. Look at that beautiful butterfly. And I think you've either been in this phase or cycle of transformation for a while, or you just entered it. It's either those two is going to resonate with you. And yeah, you're
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's really the main message with this card, that either in recent past or you're feeling it. You're feeling it. Now, what you want and what you're going to get if you don't have it already is clarity. Because where is it that you're going next? And I can see you kind of scratching your head sometimes as far as, okay, what is my next step? And I can feel that you're feeling a little burdened about that. But clarity is in the cards, Karen. So, and the question is, I asked you if you had a specific question today, and you said general. So for me, that tells me that the more specific you can get with your questions to yourself in that process of transformation, becoming more self-aware, the more specific questions you can ask yourself, the better. So see if you can kind of push yourself a little bit there in terms of that specificity, and you will gain a lot of clarity because you have a lot of dreams. This is the future card, and there's a window here that's opening. Right now it's closed, as you can see, but there's this big full moon behind it. So look at the next full moon, which I believe is, I have the list here. I know the new moon is in Virgo.
And she loves the moon cycle.
Yes. So the moon cycle is
into
very
it.
important for you. So focus on that dream, because you can also receive a lot of guidance from dream states. I get that. But it's like you're sitting in front of this window, looking out and wonder, when is it going to arrive? Look at the next full moon.
And she said, thank you. That is spot on. And she's wanting to know what deck it is.
So this is the spell casting oracle card by, I can show you the book.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Karen is very, 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 okay, I don't know how many varies, good psychic medium. She is awesome. So, yeah. So I love it that you were able to read it, because I've read with her a couple of times during class and so forth. So I'm glad that you did that. You know what? And I know I didn't put you here to work. But with Kimberly and Tina, I mean, I have read for them. So I'm going to go ahead and read. And hopefully I can read Elise. And then if you don't mind reading the other two, and then I think that will be, time for us to finish up. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So let me go ahead and do her. And I'm going to just do a general reading for you. Okay. So what the card deck that I'm finding for you, my dear, is more of, and it's kind of more of healing. And this is all the chakra colors, which I absolutely love. Okay. So again, we're looking at that energy. So you may need to do some energy work for yourself, some self-care, that kind of thing. Okay, so let me go ahead and draw 3 cards. Okay, so the first card that I am, for what you've really had to work on is, I think, my dear, in life, you're going really, and this is true for a lot of people, but this is what you've really been working on. It's unexpected. Okay. You think, okay, my life is going really good. And then something happens, some learning curve that you have to learn about. And so it's something that you've really had to work on and find gratefulness in life. And so what it leads to is growth. So presently you definitely are growing, you're learning. Just know that, and a lot of people go, I don't want to grow anymore. I don't want to learn anymore. Well, guess what? You need to continue, because you are definitely growing. What really needs to happen, and to make it a habit so that you can continue to grow, is you need to find those positive minded people out there, because what that does is it keeps your environment very positive, the energy lifted up. And so you don't have to work so hard to do that. So make sure, that's another self-care, is finding people that will uplift you. All right. So I hope that this helps you in love and light, my dear. All right. So do you want to go to Tina first or Kimberly first?
Let's see. We'll do Tina. Tina, did you have any specific question or area of life that you want some a reading on? I don't know if you... All right, I'm doing a reading for Tina now. So you're getting a past, present, and future. All right, here we go. All right. So in the recent past, there's either a happy moment that has occurred recently, or you're wishing for happiness. But as you can see, this butterfly is around you. So if you've seen a butterfly in the past couple of days or in the days to come here, right around this reading, you know that this is exactly what you're looking for is either coming in. And this is you, and in the middle head looking up to the sky, looking for that happiness, or you have actually experienced this happiness recently. Now, what this brings you is truth, some sort of truth. It's either a personal truth or something that you have been wanting to know for quite a while. And this is something that has to do with your heart, obviously. So you know when the truth shows up, there is no doubt. There's no what if this, what if that. It just is. So this is where the energy that is around you right now. So there's a truth coming to you. If not now, very soon. It will help you with your confidence around a certain thing in your life. If there's a decision you have wanted to be making, or confidence to express something to somebody else. Maybe it is that truth that you are going to now have confidence in expressing or sharing with somebody. So Tina, that's you with the wings there in the middle, feeling confident and on top of the world.
She always has some great energy. It's so interesting because we talk about it. I've never met her, but just feeling the energy over the internet, she's got some great energy. Okay, I know we need to hurry. I know
Yeah.
you got 3 more minutes. Let me go ahead and pull up Kimberly. Because she says that she had a terrible weekend and, oh my goodness, burning her feet on the bottom. Bless her heart. And we will send you healing energy for sure. Okay, I don't know if she's at the doctor's office, but we're going to go ahead and I'll text her and say that we've done the reading if she's not here. Oh, health worried. Yeah. Okay. She's at the care doctor now. So, oh, she's at home. Okay.
So do you want me to pull for Kimberly, or are you doing that?
Yeah, if you go ahead, because I've done that in the past, and I think it'd be great if
I
you
see.
had
I
somebody.
see. Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready,
Okay,
Kimberly.
go for it. Yeah, because
Let's
I
see.
always want to give them opportunities for somebody else.
Okay, let's do it, Kimberly. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure this is linked to what happened to you with your burns, but there is is a chapter that's closing, something you want to have closure on. And yeah, whether that is something that has to do with your professional life or not. But there is something in the recent past here that you've been desiring a closure around, because I can tell you there's something new coming in. The good luck card is out. So I'm giving you some extra energy here, good energy, because what is happening to you now is part of your journey, but it's also, I wouldn't say it's a sign of luck, but it's something that you have an opportunity to focus on, instead of turning the past events around your injury there and your burn into something heavy. There is good luck around the corner here for you, and it has to do with your career. Because there is some shining light on your career coming up, whether that resonates with you or not right now. There might be either something unexpected coming in as an opportunity in terms of that good luck card that is present, but the closure piece has to do with something in the recent past. So that's something you need to kind of come to first before that good luck and the career expansion is coming.
And that is so difficult to do, that closure. All right. So I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Let me see if I can. So I appreciate it so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know what? You're so awesome intuitively. We didn't talk about that last time, but I wish you well. And again, go to her website, look at that wonderful book that she has. Okay. So thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day.
Thank
And
you.
I'm going to go ahead and remove you because I know you've got someplace to go, and then I'm going to end the show.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. And I just want to say hello to the people because I know there's a lot of people that came on. So, Mary Helen, I want to say hello, hello. It's good to see you. Good to see you. And thank you for saying hello. So, if you're watching this recorded, say hello. And again, I wish you well. And thank you so much. And hopefully you've got inspiration for this week. You can do this, people. You can do it. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I will see you next time.